So today's topic of discussion is augmentation of labor, which is also known as active management of labor. So today we will learn how to do active management of labor. So basically active management of labor was first introduced by O'Driscoll and his colleagues in 1968 at the National Maternity Hospital, Dublin. They all discovered how to manage actively a labor or a pregnancy during the interpartum period. So active management basically applies exclusively to the primary gravida mothers with a singleton pregnancy and those are having cephalic presentation, also going in the spontaneous labor and with the presence of clear amniotic liquor. So presence of husband and the partner is must during the labor, and partograph is also maintained to monitor the progress of labor. If there is any deviation from the normal, then we can go for the active management of labor. For that purpose, partograph is maintained. Next are the essential components of active management of labor. Essential components means which all are the parts or which all are the criteria that must be fulfilled if we want to go for the active management of labor. So first is prenatal education. Mothers should have a prior knowledge during the antenatal period about the active management of labor so that it will help in reducing their anxiety and it will also help them to know the purpose of active management of labor. Then next is the diagnosis of labor. If we want to go for active management of labor, then labor should be diagnosed with a true labor pains. Then partographic monitoring of labor should be there by one-on-one nurse to a patient so that essential observation of patient can be done during the labor. Then amniotomy, we can go for the artificial rupturing of membrane, that is amnion, for actively management of labor. Then oxytocin augmentation if cervical dilatation is less than 1 centimeter per hour. Mother is undergoing active phase of first stage of labor, still she is having less than 1 centimeter per hour cervical dilatation, then we can go for the oxytocin augmentation. Next, delivery should be completed within the 12 hours of admission. It should not exceed more than the 12 hours. Then epidural analgesia if needed. If mother do not want to bear pain or mother is in uncontrolled condition, then we can go for the epidural analgesia. Then fetal monitoring, also active involvement of consultant obstetrician should be there. They should be actively participate in the active management of labor. For fetal monitoring we can go for the continuous electronic monitoring, as well as we can go for the intermittent auscultation during the labor. Then aim, what is the aim of augmentation of labor? So basically aim is to expedite the delivery within 12 hours without increasing any maternal morbidity and the perinatal hazards, because if the time or duration will be exceeding more than 12 hours, then definitely mother can go under various morbidity and as well as perinatal hazards. Then contraindication, to those we cannot give active management of labor. So they are basically the mothers which are having various obstetric complications, and also if their fetus is compromising, then we cannot go for the active management of labor, and also to the multigravida mothers. Basically active management is maintained or done for the primary gravida mothers. If the mother is multigravida, then the process of labor will be fast, so we should not go for the active management of labor basically in multigravida mothers. Then advantages, so less chances of dysfunctional labor because we will go in a rapid moment, then shortens the duration less than the 12 hours, and also it will prevent the fetal hypoxia because we are doing the continuous fetal monitoring by electronic monitoring, or we are also doing intermittent auscultation, so it will definitely reduce the fetal hypoxia. Then low incidence of cesarean birth because it will enhance the progress of labor or it will fasten the progress of labor. Then less analgesia because of presence of caregivers as well as supportive partners during the labor. So less chances of analgesia will be or need will be there. Then less maternal anxiety, because during the components we have studied, mothers should have a prior knowledge during the antenatal period about the active management of labor, so that they will be having less anxiety during the labor. Then emotional support in labor. So basically presence of supportive partners or supportive companions will reduce the duration of labor, need of analgesia and oxytocin augmentation.